Critical Mass, November 18th, 2015. Peanut has a tennis ball and won't, she's been chewing it. It was outside and she brought it in. She ran on the street. I thought a car was coming. I thought, there goes my dog chasing a goddamn tennis ball. And it's covered in blood because she's like grinding her teeth against it. But she's so happy that if I take it, if she looks at me, Peanut, are you eating the inside of the ball? She's scaring the shit out of me. She swallowed a mini tennis ball once, and it cost me a small fortune. So I don't want this to happen again, but I'll keep an eye on her. So I read a book. Actually, Stephen Smith Senior, who just tore his Achilles, football player, wrote down two books: The Last Lecture and The Richest Man in Babylon. So I read both of them. Usually I get books and I don't read them, but I actually read these two. So I just read The Richest Man in Babylon, which is basically about, saving for your future and all that stuff. It was very interesting. It's quick read. It's what's the word? Common sense. I mean, but most of us don't do it anyway. But big thing they said was save 10% of your monthly income. Because I remember reading about a guy a football player who was making, I don't know how much money, and him and his family was living on like $70,000 a year. He just decided that, he didn't know how long his career was going to be, and he really budgeted the shit out of it. So it can be done. I mean, I did train and I paid for my own independent film. I put a lot of money away, so it can be done. It was done. It can be done again. So, yeah. Sometimes you get into a rut. And you got to get out of the fucking rut. That's what the deal is. So that's what I'm doing. So, yeah, weird night's sleep. And woke up in the middle of the night. Thought I'd slept in the night, which of course I didn't. So I watched some TV in the middle of the night, and there was a movie on called Putzel or something, and I'm not even sure if that's the right. It was on Channel 13. So the last 30 minutes, and of course it wasn't on again. So I have to find a way to watch it somewhere else. And very interesting. I found before Movie Money was made, we had a fundraiser, and the director at the time made like a teaser, which is like over 2.5 minutes, and it had like I don't know, and it wasn't fair. It was exciting to show at the time, but I just saw it for the first time. It had kind of like a little gag reel. I thought about putting it up to show people, and I decided that it's best to stay where it is. But yeah, I was all excited about it, and then I wasn't that excited about it. And I also found a comic book that I had done, a Batman one, back in grad school. I ended up being in one, and one of the guys in grad school did like 200 comic books. So I was one who got everybody involved, and I had the smallest part out of all the people. Such is life. But I did he did actually send me copies of the comic book, John Van Fleet. So I made copies because I was going to show it. I met some kids around here in the neighborhood, and I told them about it. They said, "Oh, we want to see." So I made some copies so I could show them. It's pretty cool. It's my face, and all that stuff. So I got to be up early work tomorrow. So I went to the library today, and I said, "How many books can you take out of a time?" And they go, "As many as you want." And I just thought that was funny. It made me laugh. So I got a book on Nick Saban because I'm very, he is like a type A personality. I think he's a hell of a football coach. And I heard the book was really interesting read. So I'm going to read that. And I heard they caught the dude, the ringleader. They killed the ringleader, but there was no really notes given. And then Kevin McHale was fired by the Rockets today. And I just read somewhere that the team is not Harden, who is who I think was he MVP last year, James Harden. They said he's kind of aloof and whatever, and he's like the teammates aren't happy with the way he plays and everything. This guy's more talented in his freaking pinky than I have my whole body. He's making a fortune, has a huge endorsement deal. Now I'm not playing the team, so I don't know, but I am always amazed that those that have and those that don't have would love to be in that situation, and the ones that are there kind of like, making all this money, really doesn't matter, It just blows my mind. Just blows my fucking mind. Like JPP on the Giants had a contract this year guaranteed over $14 million, and he has a fireworks. He's hanging out with his friends, and he lets a firework go off in his hand and blow up his hand. None of his friends were like, "Hey, we got this much money on the table. That's a shitload of money." but he wanted a long-term deal. But that was so. It ended up, everything got screwed up. He ended up signing like a prorated deal for the rest of the year. He's playing with only has 3 fingers on one hand or whatever, and surgeries and all that shit. And I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed how you do. Fucking fireworks are fucking crazy. I mean, that's good. I mean, I remember M80s growing up. Kids would like lose hearing and all that shit. And they had an interesting thing about Halle Berry. She's getting divorced, and they talked about all her failed relationships, and all the exes were tweeting like David Justice, who she said used to beat her and all that. They're all coming out of the woodwork because, you know, it was funny. It's always they always said, oh, it's Halle Berry's fault. You know, I mean, it's all the guy. You know, put all the blame on the guys, and it ends up that Halle Berry's got some issues, man. Every guy. I mean, she's been like shitload of relationships. Like I should talk. I've had a shitload of but mine aren't as public as hers are. But Jesus, fucked up shit. All right, I'm talking too much. All right, peace out. Talk to you soon.